This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. There's a phrase and a song that came out a few years ago, and the song being from Kelly Clarkson, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Kind of where we're riding on this today. Stress, anxiety, so many of us are dealing with it, challenging us, maybe making life a little hectic. Imagine if you could take that stress, that anxiety, that fear, all that stuff you got going on there, which many of us have. We all have stress, it's just a different level.
Yeah.
And find strength and courage in that.
Yes.
Actually make you stronger. We're going to talk about that today and give you some tips on how to harness the power of that. She's a master Reiki practitioner, also a life coach. Beautiful blend there. Harnessing the power of energy and also moving your life forward through coaching. Katy Anderegg is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful to have you here. I'm going to put a disclaimer on this podcast. What we're about to talk about involves work. Nothing's easy. This is not just just read a chapter in a book, which we'll get to because you do have a new book or one forthcoming. But everything is work. So you have to put the work in. But on the other side of it, imagine turning that stress, anxiety into something actually positive, right?
Right. Yeah. That is, I believe, why we're here on Earth. We are just living and learning and growing. And when we go into it from that perspective, life can be a little bit easier. But yeah, growth and moving through fear, anxiety, and uncertainty in the beginning, like when you're in the midst of it, really feels very heavy, clouded, just dragging you down. You really don't feel motivated to do much. You really can't see beyond the couple seconds that you're living in the moment. You're either like really worried about something that's going to happen or something that did happen, right? We're kind of caught in those states. And so what I'd like to talk about today is like a couple tips on how to navigate that and how to be a little more present, allowing yourself to be where you're at right now, even if it feels like a dumpster fire. That's okay.
Oh, I love it. I use that phrase all the time, dumpster fire,
Yeah.
for sure. So let's just say that somebody has stress, anxiety. Maybe they deal with it every day. That's what their life is like. What do they do? What's your first suggestion to kind of walk you off the ledge of that situation?
Yeah. So my recommendation is to tune into yourself, because there is so much noise going on around you externally. It can be very confusing, overwhelming, and just downright like, I don't want to deal with it. And tuning into ourself means focusing on your heart center or focusing on your intuition, that gut feeling that we always have. It's there. It's
Mm.
a very natural part of us. It's the part of us that we have never been fully educated about. It's our energy and our intuition, very natural parts of us that we've been told to ignore or put aside because logic and reasoning are more important, right? But it's tuning in. It's taking even 5 minutes before you start your day to really like get centered and get in touch with yourself, check in with yourself. It's just like a mindfulness practice, taking a few minutes just to assess where you're at, how you're feeling, what's going on with you. It's really as simple as that. And just allowing yourself to be. You're allowing yourself to be as you are, how you are, with kindness, without judgment, with honesty, and you're
Mm.
not fixing anything. You're just being.
It's so funny and so true what you're saying here. At least I've discovered it in my journey. How many times do run into somebody and say, "How are you? What's going on? How's it going?"
Yeah.
Do we ever do that to ourselves? Like, and just
No.
to find a quiet moment and say, "How are you? What are you feeling right now? What would make you happy? What do you think? Got to make a choice tonight. What are we doing? But what are you feeling that's going to be coming from within to find that answer and other ones? I don't think we really ever do that.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of just on autopilot sometimes. We have to get to our job, we have to get the kids ready. We're doing things all the time on the schedule. And if we can just find even a few moments to just sit and ask ourselves, get in touch with ourselves, tune in, and even like just ground our energy. And grounding the energy, your own energy, I really just use a simple visual of like imagining it above my head and allowing it to flow through my whole body down into the earth at a gentle pace. It can really only take a few seconds to a few minutes. And you're connecting with that earth energy, which really can make you feel more energized instantly. And then you bring that back up into your body and you just sit with it for a moment. And then you can move on to what you need. Part of that is tapping into our spiritual team. I believe we all have a spiritual team, whether it's passed on loved ones, um, spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, whatever you want to call them, God, whatever you want to call it. Um, it's a beautiful team that is always there, helping you, supporting you, guiding you through every single moment if you allow it. So you have to ask for that help because they don't interfere with our choices down here. They allow us to do what we want to do. But when we tap into that intuition, our inner guidance, and ask for their help, we're going to be led to what's for our highest good. And we're going to have a much clearer step forward. And that can take some practice. So you got to be patient with yourself and learning how that works for you, how it presents to you.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the visualization of the light coming down.
Mhm.
Is it as easy as that to kind of just reset you?
It is. It really is that easy. And we make it way more complicated than it needs to be. And really, we often think the answers have to be super complicated because the problems seem so complicated,
Mm.
right? But really, it's taking a moment to just quiet down and ask for help. Take a deep breath, take several deep breaths, ask for help, and be open to that information, and you'll receive an answer. You will. It'll come to you in your heart, in your body, in your knowing. It really is that simple.
That's my description of intuition.
Mhm.
And so many times I would ask for that answer, which choice A, choice B, what do we do? And usually it's been said that the first thing you think of is the answer.
Mhm.
But what do? We overthink it. It can't be that easy. No, 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 no. And then invariably you pick the other choice, which was not the right choice. Um, let's go to what you said, the spirit guides. So very transparent. I always am. It was last night. I'm laying in bed, and I've done this multiple times before, where and I kind of zone out. That's like I call it a meditation, or sometimes early in the morning I do it. And I'm just laying there. I'm like, okay, spirit guides, present yourself. I always call out to my mom because she's sent me major signs, very specific. I believe
Okay.
she's there and supports and has.
Oh,
And she passed.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I could. You're working on a book. I could do a book just about the signs that I've gotten from her that are
Yeah.
just, I need specifics. Somebody said, "Yeah, I saw a butterfly today," and I thought if that supports you, fantastic. I need more, and I've gotten more. But I'll lay in bed and I'll just, vibe that out there. I haven't, I don't know, best word, been contacted by, felt the presence of the spirit team, spirit guides, if you will. Uh, Am I doing the right thing? What should I be doing? Ask for an answer, from them like I get from my mom. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's great. And it is that simple. You just send out that intention. It's the intention is the most important thing. It's like your question, um, what you want to know, and sending that out to the universe, your spirit guides, and they will respond. It may not be in that exact moment. It may be, a couple minutes later to an hour or even a day or so. It just depends on the situation. And that's where a little patience comes in.
Hmm.
But yes, I think that's exactly right. Just kind of laying there, relaxed in a peaceful state without distractions, sending that intention. It doesn't have to be difficult. You'll get the answer. It's really that easy.
Would it for me and everybody else, instead of saying, "All right, people, show me who you are," like,
Mhm.
Archangel Michael, I'm waiting for you. Come walking through the door. Instead of that, set a more specific intention. What do I mean by that? I need an answer as to whether I should take this job, hypothetically talking here. Can you please provide me with the insight on this decision? Be specific, spirit guides. Please give me an answer. I'm looking for that answer. You think that might be more impactful instead of just asking, them to show their presence?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I always ask for help in every situation I'm in. Even getting ready for this show, like help guide me as to what I should say, right? And I prepared like uh, some notes, mental notes for myself. So yeah, you can definitely ask them for specific solutions to specific problems, and that's what they're there for. I believe they are very underutilized. We often overlook that help. We often overlook our intuition and that first answer that we get. We, like you said, well, it can't be that easy, right? We dismiss it too quickly. But if we take a moment to really sit and let it sink in, for me, it's like goosebumps or truth shivers, right? I get kind of like a energetic sensation throughout my body. It kind of feels like a wave of resonance or um, energy flowing through me that reassures me that I am getting the right answer. And
Hmm.
it may come in other ways, like signs. It could be a meaningful external thing, like a bird, or maybe somebody else is saying it to you. It could be a message through another person. So being open to how it comes to you and being aware of like, okay, I asked for something. I think that's what it was, but you're still kind of doubting it. Go with it because in the beginning it's going to feel awkward. We're not used to doing this, right? We're not used to tapping into ourselves, asking spirit guides, our spiritual team for help. We're often used to logical reasoning and, you know, yeah, just logic and making direct choices and kind of seeing what the outcome is going to be. um, but you get into more of a flow state, a more intentional, mindful state. And when you begin to recognize your questions being answered, you begin to gain a trust, build a trust in relationship with that. And you won't go wrong. They may guide you, and this is where some people get tripped up and discouraged because they may guide you to walk through more painful things. Um, and that is just an opportunity for you to heal, right?
So when you say that guide you to walk through challenging situations,
Mhm.
do you mean they're just going to present it to you, or you're going to feel that you're doing it together?
I believe, um, well, you're always together. They're always there, no matter what you're doing, no matter if you're doing something joyful or just cleaning the house or doing something that's a little more challenging for you. They are always there with you. Um, I believe, for example, when I had a challenging moment in relationship to my mother, I had to make the choice to step back from our relationship. And I didn't make that decision in a couple of days. I made that over a course of a couple of weeks, because I was having difficulty in relation to her. I wasn't in a healthy spot with her and how I responded to her and what she was doing. It really, I would get sick. Sometimes it was
Mm.
really detrimental to my health. Um, so I had to make that choice to stop communication for a while, and I didn't know how long it was going to be. But it was difficult because I felt guilty. I was scared. I was fearful. I thought I was hurting her. It was painful for me. But what I realized was that I needed to heal the wounds that I was feeling. The hurts and the pains that I thought she made me feel, when in reality, it was something within me that was hurt, and missing. It was some sort of lack of love or lack of need that I didn't feel I received. And so when we tune into ourselves and tap into our heart, we get to know who we are. And honestly, that's where healing begins. Just like a physical wound, when you get debris in it, where does the healing start? You have to clean out all that debris. And it's very much like our trauma, our emotions, the negative ones. We have to face them. We have to come meet them at the level that they are, you know, and be honest. And it's without judgment, recognizing that at one point I hated myself where I was, and I had to meet that and clean it out. I had to accept that, fully accept it and acknowledge it. And simple awareness, simple acknowledgement can really help clean out and clear out those energies and let them move out so that healing takes place.
And I know this sounds very woo. However, we, as I've learned and understand, things that happened to us in the past, we're holding that energy in our body.
Yeah.
The body doesn't forget. There's a book that came out a while ago, The Body Keeps Score. All of that's every negative situation, all of that, down to the cellular level, your body's hanging on to that. And if you don't release it, therein lies a lot of the challenges that we have. For you, in that
Really shapes
situation,
our perspective and how we approach things in our own life.
do you think that you were holding on to something in regard to your mother, your relationship with her, and that was best description getting in the way or challenging you?
Yeah, yeah. I was holding on to like perfectionism, uh,
Oh,
trying to,
I'm hearing you loud and clear, and I let that
yeah,
go as best I can.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Within the last 4 years, and just sharing with you, there's a office right there. On the wall is a newspaper clipping from me when I was 17 years old, and I used to draw cartoons, and the local library displayed my cartoons, and the quote on the picture of me doing my thing in the newspaper article says, "At 17, I'm a perfectionist, blah, 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 blah." And there's reasons for that. I know what the reasons are. And that goes
yeah,
back to childhood. Um,
yeah.
and then
A
people
lot of,
pleasing and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
A lot of our trauma, our emotional issues, the perspectives that we live by, the thoughts and beliefs are from childhood. It's not anybody's fault, and it's not blaming anybody, right? Because we all knew what we knew at the
Hmm.
time. And so when we approach things that way, we can begin to forgive. We can begin to let go. And that forgiveness is more heartfelt. It's not really an action that you need to take. It's not really like, oh, I need to go up to that person and say, I forgive you. You don't, it's not that. It's more of like a heartfelt forgiving yourself for what happened in the situation. And then a heartfelt forgiveness of the other person, because when we allow or let that go, it really releases a lot of weight on our shoulders. Again, it's just more of that energetic work of allowing those feelings to flow through you. And those feelings really were complex. Like in that perfectionism, I was meeting not only what I thought my mom's expectations were, but society too, and what my own were. And it was like nitpicking, really taking the time to squeeze out all those nuances and things that I felt um, were congesting and, causing my gut issues. I was having a lot of gut issues.
Me too.
And, my stomach hurt with sharp pains and just felt like a twisty knot. And and once I began to work through those emotions, the stomach pains went away. My digestive health got better. And, I was guided to eat pineapple. And so I eat pineapple all the time. And I just feel lighter. And I was able to resolve my relationship with my mom. I was able
Beautiful.
to heal it. So I'm, connected with her again and things are better. So,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
And the gut thing, this is proof of how the stuff that we deal with, we internalize, turns into illness. It's not that, oh, well, you're predisposed or genetics, and all right, there's a little bit of piece of that, but the
A
rest of it,
little bit.
I
Yeah.
2016, 17 had an ulcer, and I know where it was from. Stress. I was renovating a backyard, how to make it perfect.
Yeah.
Kids were younger, blah, blah, blah. All of that all led to it. It was just, that's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when we face these things, when we meet them energetically with honesty, without judgment, with kindness, compassion, self-compassion, because a self-compassion is incomplete if it doesn't, or compassion is incomplete if it doesn't include ourselves. And, those are tips to move forward.
Yep.
And we all do it in our own way, in our own time. For me, it was Epsom salt baths. I really
Oh,
was able to find, a private little sanctuary where I could just cry and just let it all out. If I felt a sticky sensation or visualized, shapes, colors, textures, whatever, however that energy felt, I just kind of I used mental tools. It sounds silly, but like a mental chisel to get rid of the chunky stones that I felt were around some of my organs, or
wow.
like a scraper to get rid of some of the gooey, sticky stuff that I felt was energetically within me. It really is that simple. It's not complicated.
It's not. And yes, I understand some may look at this and say it's a little woo here, what we're
It
talking
is.
about,
Yeah, we're not
but
used
it
to talking about
but
this.
it works because this is what's going on around us. And we're so busy. We're not even just the thing of just visualizing light coming down, taking a deep breath, resetting, and going on with the rest of your day. We're just like, so much going on that we don't even take the time to do that. Um,
Yeah. And
how
I
do
have
we
a
find
great,
you? Katie,
yeah.
what's the
So
best way to
you can
connect with
find
you?
me on my website, www.intuitivehealingsllc.com. And I have a free guided meditation on my website. You can just enter your email and name, and it'll come right to your inbox. And so you can begin practicing and understanding, feeling your own energy through that guided meditation.
Hmm. And you have an amazing book you're working on. I've got an advance
Mhm.
copy before it even hits the press. I'm going to be checking that out later today, and maybe next time we get
Yeah.
together, we can dig a little deeper into that.
Yeah, that would be great. My book is called Love, Light, and Healing, and it is set to be published here in the next couple of weeks. I'm so excited. It's been a couple years in the making, and it's my own personal story and the steps I took to heal myself and how I met Reiki and how that further helped me heal.
Beautiful. I only have one suggestion. One.
Yeah,
This is how I roll. I don't
yeah.
run deep into astrology, but wait until the Mercury retrograde is over before you release the book. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just
When is
never
that?
Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Google it. It's when the planet Mercury appears to spin backwards and you never start something new. You never, it's been said, don't buy a house, don't buy a car, wait until it's over. If you have to, you have to check and double check. Communication gets wonky, electronics get wonky, and it'd be over in another week and change, somewhere around
Okay.
there. So yeah, I'm just saying, you might want to wait a little bit, but
I'll check into it.
it sounds like the universe is timing out for that to happen anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been learning about astrology lately. I listened to a podcast. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Familiar.
don't. I'm the student. I just learn this stuff and I pass it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for today. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. Have a good day.
You too. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.